Oh my god! You know what?
Welcome back to Urban Anime,
You know what?
where today
Yes,
we're gonna
yes.
thrive off of negativity. The floor is all yours. You can go ahead. You
So,
can go
all
ahead.
right. So the current subject right now is My Hero versus JJK, and the argument right now is, would Kenjaku do well in the My Hero universe? And basically, where we capped off at right now is that Bakugo is fighting all for one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bakugo's fighting all for one
One
currently in the manga. I had no idea, but we're trying to figure out why was Bakugo brought back to life. What's the issue here, Tyler? What's going on?
What's my fucking issue? Well,
Yes,
okay,
please.
all right. You know what? I'm okay with inspiration. I'm okay with tropes. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with
Right.
people. You know what I'm saying? Lending or gaining inspiration, I should say, from other things. It happens. It happens. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, right now, how I'm feeling, shit isn't fresh, man. Shit isn't fresh. All right, people are pulling out leftovers from 1990 fucking 2 and reheating them, and they're slapping a new coat of paint on it, right? And we're making new series, and they're ass. Okay, you know what? I'm not saying everything is bad, everything is terrible. Not everything is awful. Okay, you know, I'm not gonna say everything is bad or everything new that's come out is bad. You know, because it's a lie, right? There's a lot of stuff that I enjoy, right? But there's a lot of shit that I don't like, and a lot of shit I don't like is rehashed ideas that people recycle, and then we act like they're original, or I don't know. Then we criticize the original ones because people keep piggybacking off the idea and saturate it and make it terrible, and then it makes the original idea look fucking stupid in the first place. You know, and I don't have a problem with people making new stuff and getting, like I said, inspiration from shit. But enough. You know what I'm saying? Enough. Let's innovate. You know what I'm saying? Stop bringing niggas back to life. Niggas don't come back to life in real life. All right. I understand it's fantasy. I get it. It's fantasy world. It's fun. It's made for teenagers and shit. I'm not a teenager. No. I get it. I'm not the demographic. I fucking understand. I'm 26. All right. However, how fucking ever. Okay. Storytelling is important. Okay. And you need to write a series that is well formulated from front to fucking back. And I don't like when people bring back people for shock value, or when they do stuff to make people re-interested in the stories because they left because the character died. Fuck that. Stand on business, okay? Stand on it. You killed the nigga, let that nigga be dead. Stop it. All right? Cut it the fuck out. Don't bring a nigga back after 30 fucking 100 chapters. Cut it the fuck out.
To be fair, I don't know the context and the circumstances for him being resurrected because I've dropped My Hero long ago.
Wait, was this what the fan base was crying about a couple months ago? Because I remember they were something about Bakugo dying, and the fan base wasn't with it, so they had to. I don't know if they made changes due to that, or if that was just the case. But
if that's the case, he might be the no. Yeah, if that's the case, he is the worst fucking mangaka writer of all time. You're gonna be a coward and let these bitch ass niggas pull you into bringing Bakugo back?
Listen, this isn't Dragon Ball. There's no plot hole that you can pull out of your ass that's gonna make it make sense to me. And I don't even fuck when they do it in Dragon Ball all the time, because half the time it's just cause niggas want to see this nigga again. Fuck that.
Oh yeah, every time.
But at least they have a fucking plot hole to do that. How you bring a nigga back to life like that? How do you do that shamelessly? Shamelessly.
I'll tell you right now.
I don't even want to know. It's gonna make me mad. It's not even gonna make sense. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't want to compare, because I know we were comparing power scaling and shit like that, and people like in the series and shit like that. But if we're talking about in terms of actual quality of writing in this series, I don't give a fuck what nobody's talking about. My Hero is dog water compared to JJK. It's dog water. Water. If we're being real, if we're talking about like writing a story, it's dog water.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's dog water. Your face looks satisfied.
So Edge Shot, right? The ninja that could turn himself into string.
Who is that nigga?
I think he was in the top 10 heroes, if I'm not mistaken.
String or Shinobi.
Edge Shot, yeah. He put himself into Bakugo's body and, like, I guess wrapped himself around Bakugo's heart and just started pumping it again.
Get the fuck out of here.
Brought him back to life and allowed him to walk with
I just had to put you on the full
myriad of broken bones.
Everyone can understand that's the bullshit that brought this man back to life.
Hey man, the My Hero verse is built different. These aren't human beings.
I don't like it, man. I don't like it.
Well, I guess that brings us full circle to, I guess, the other conversation we was having, which was My Hero versus the JJK verse, right?
It could be close depending on how Aizawa works.
I think he's only kinks. I think he's only quirks. Like if you have the genetic makeup of a quirk, he could cancel.
But that makes him completely irrelevant.
I don't think he matters in that fight, to be completely honest.
You don't think it translates? So like you don't think he can shut down Kurt's energy if he stays at you long enough?
The way that I feel like the way we've at least broken down Curse energy, how it works, I think it's an innate ability that everyone kind of has, as opposed to quirks, where it's like it's a genetic makeup that only 80% of the population have. So everyone has Curse energy, as opposed to only like 4/5 the population having quirks. So it's like he can use his power on people with that genetic makeup, but if you don't have that, it don't work. Do he still got hands? Yeah, but is he relevant in the fight? Probably not. Like, is he fighting a nigga like Yuji? Nah, he's getting folded. Yuji's giving him the beats. Toto with no curse energy is giving him the beats. To be honest with you, like I'm being real with you.
I don't know about that.
Toto was giving him the beats. Toto was giving grade 1 curses. He only used his curse technique on a special grade on the Night of 1,000 Demons. He was giving grade 1 curses.
Aizawa had some hands too, though. Let's not act like he wasn't.
He was
still outside with
hands.
But that means my boy.
He would just turn your power off and then run up on you.
He relies on that too.
For sure, but that don't mean my boy Toto was avoiding all of their curse techniques. Even still, he was using his technique to avoid any of their techniques. So he was just fighting them barehanded for the sake of fucking it. Like, Aizawa be having, he be turning off niggas' abilities. Niggas just be boxing. Toto be fighting niggas with abilities with just hands.
That's what I'm saying. If there's no abilities, right? If there's no abilities, right? So Aizawa don't even got to worry about staring at him, and it's just it's just me and you throwing hands, and I got my little concrete scarf, whatever that thing is. I don't know if just hands is being that. I don't know.
I think it is. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know because that's scarf.
But this isn't just some villain. Like
that's what I'm saying.
This isn't just some rando with like a random cement block for an arm. Like this is Toto. Like
nigga, Toto is like that. He is really like that. He is like that. I don't.
Crazy. Listen, I'm not saying
he's not. If he pulled up on Best Genius, we could have a conversation. He's pulling up on Toto. That's. I don't think it's even remotely close.
But I think y'all really sleeping on his scarf. I'm about to pull
hand to hand against Toto. I don't think there's very many people with no powers hand to hand against Toto winning. I don't think so. There's not very many people that are beating him. Even in JJK, who are you taking? I'm taking obviously Toji and Maki off the table, Yuji off the table, Gojo obviously off the table. Hand to hand, we're talking purely no curse technique.
Hand to hand.
I already took 5, 6 people off the table. Yuji, Gojo, Sukuna, Toji, and Maki.
I think we could keep the grade 1s and lower on there.
Everyone else in there. I would even keep Yuta in there. Yuta, no curse technique. Boxing Toto. I don't know.
Does Yuta get his sword?
No sword, just straight hands. Just straight hands. We boxing.
I don't know if Yuta wins that one. I don't know.
Yeah. That's straight hands is kind of
straight
crazy.
Hands, yeah.
It's sticky. It's sticky.
Moves the list wild.
It's sticky. I don't know. His fight IQ is nuts.
Only person we've seen like box like that even beforehand was like Maki kind of, but
that's what I'm saying. And Maki, I don't think she's standing a chance unless she's awakened. Awakened Maki, like equal to Toji Maki. Yeah, she's fucking him up. I'm taking her out the list, but anyone else besides that level?
I think we should put that same cap on JJK versus My Hero.
You think so?
Yeah, just get the big names off there and just put like the students against each other.
Because I would throw. I mean,
I think that works a bit better because putting Gojo versus All Might is not fair. What did All Might do to you? Like,
All Might can't touch anyone, but All Might. I think All Might is killing Kenjaku. All Might claps Kenjaku in half. Actually, I think he. I don't even think Kenjaku has any hands.
Without Infinity,
I'm going the opposite direction. I think All Might is trash.
You're crazy, my friend. You're crazy.
He's just strong.
I'm starting to think you like that.
Listen.
It's not just strong.
Yuki pulled up. She punched Kenjaku, destroyed his fucking arm, right? And that was a gravity punch. She put a lot of mass into that punch. That nigga fucking All Might. All Might's punches I don't know. If that was All Might that pulled up and punched Kenjaku like that, he's dead. Upper body gone.
Getting punched into space is
upper body gone. Upper body gone.
Who needs a plan after that? What is that? You're welcome to the solar system. Get a good view, bro. That's it.
I think in the grand scheme of things, All Might's a bad matchup for a lot of people in the JJK verse.
Except
just in general.
Except for Gojo and Sukuna. Gojo and Sukuna are
because All Might's gonna punch Gojo, realize he never hit him. Gets wiped up.
That's it. Gojo and Sukuna are the only ones I could say, because All Might outside of that is just manhandling everyone. Manhandling
even Toji. Even if you want to throw Toji in there, I think
manhandling Toji. Mahito only if the touch happens, but if he just gets blitzed, like if he just All Might
crazy.
All Might's blitzing that nigga. All Might's pulling up and he's punching that nigga in the space.
Mahito doesn't take physical damage like that. That's the only thing.
But if he punches that nigga into space, he's gone.
Bro, he's gonna punch a hole through nothing.
Freeze through eternity.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, so we can take him off. I think All Might is trash in like the grand scope. Like as far as like
he doesn't scale well to top
all
outside of his verse. When it comes to like the Gokus and the fucking the One Punch Mans and the Narutos, he doesn't scale well. But inside of his verse, nigga's crazy. Nigga's crazy.
His verse is trash, honestly. But that's neither here nor there. I don't want to get these.
So I mean, you know what the interesting thing is? I think the newer anime, and when I say newer, I want to say like post 2010, and post 2010 anime. I want to say the scaling of things has gone down dramatically in terms of
things are leaning.
They're getting a little more realistic too. We're getting a little more realism with fights, and in terms of series like Chainsaw Man has gotten, I feel like, is almost fourth wall breaking with like how they address how devils and like the Gun Devil in general, how it's made. Like it's made by the human consciousness being afraid of this shit, and you know what I'm saying?
Into the politics of the real world.
Exactly, and how it interferes with different sections of the world and shit like that. So I feel like we've gotten to more realistic anime and shit like that, and we've gotten away from like super, super, super ridiculous power scaling. Gurren Lagann is insane in the grand scheme of power scaling. Like fucking Endgame Gurren Lagann is nuts.
The spiral is crazy. Anti-spiral is literally
God.
It's what? It's
what? Spin the other way, change the universe.
Like it's nuts. And we've gone all the way from there. We've gotten into like more personal stories where shit's like, you know what I'm saying, we're more grounded. So we do still see nut shit. Like I mean, even just comparing the Shibuya incident, it was crazy. Like that's crazy, but it's still not like the crazy tragic loss of life that was the Saiyans pulling up. When the Saiyans pulled up on Earth, they killed more people than they did in Shibuya instantly. Fucking Nappa just destroyed that city instantly, and then they went on with the fucking day. And then,
if you look at it in the grand scheme of things, almost every series has a minor incident that's killed more than the Shibuya incident.
Exactly, but the Shibuya, the way they kind of personalized it, and we've seen how it kind of broke down with the characters. Season 1 built it up, not even just season 1, but season 1 in terms of the anime did build it up really well. And then we saw the flashback with the Gojo shit, and they kind of Shibuya just broke that shit apart. So I feel like it was a personal kind of story in a way, but it made it a lot more grounded in terms of the reality of the shit, because we saw all the people there for Halloween get murdered. Everyone there died. Everyone there died horribly. Like, it was
from the perspective of Yuji still trying to get into grasp to it, like, you know, life and death and stuff. And some people might not make it. You know, you can't. It's inevitable. But you want to still save who you can, and then just having that being fucked with him and weighed over his head the whole time.
Ripped away from him. I mean, that idea was ripped away from him. Yeah. So I mean, we've kind of traded in the grand scale of like planets getting destroyed, and you know what I'm saying, even Naruto, like nations getting wiped out and all types of shit. So now we're at this point where it's like we're getting more personal stories, and the power scaling and shit, not that it doesn't matter as much, but it's not the most important thing, because each story is its own contained shit instead of like, I guess, following the same chain of events. I just don't like that ideas are being piggybacked, because it's like someone will have an idea and then instantly it's like, okay, well, now we have to go down the Naruto plot line. It's got to be like this. Or we've got to go down the Bleach plot line. It's got to be like this. Like, they make a universe and then they have to go down these set plot lines. And it's
I think it more leans into like the constrictions of a shonen. You know what I mean? Like, after a certain point, when you start off that original shonen story, there's only so many directions you could really go in. And then if you don't want to go
but
too
okay,
far,
no. Well, how about this?
And then you end up fucking everything
Not
up.
really.
What about Togashi?
Yu Yu Hakusho. I mean,
okay, you said it. Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yu Yu Hakusho. I mean, Hunter.
Hunter.
Some people
Togashi. I mean, he broke the mold. Hunter is not like anything. It's like,
but not everyone though. Some people
Lucifer
just don't have the capacity.
Even
but think about how long these animes came out too.
That's true. I think
you know what I mean. Like that, they had their moment to be original. So now it's just like that's already done. There's even less for the next generation to do, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean?
Okay.
A lot of these people are just inspired, though. Honestly, like there's a lot of people that are.
Because you can still do something that's inspired and still like make it good, or still like put your own.
One Piece is a perfect example. Luffy is the remodeled Goku.
Yeah, I would say so.
All Luffy is. Luffy is Goku, except as a teenager and can't fly.
And like, what if his actions like
had
his actual consequences?
Yeah.
In the world.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Agreed.
Essentially.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't think that's like not an issue.
It was a nice shot at Dragon Ball. Cool, right?
I mean, to be honest, the problem with Goku is that I feel like it's not that. It's not even a writing problem. I think they put too much expectation on the series in general, because the series wasn't supposed to be this whole thing. It was supposed to be what it was, and then they made it got out of hand. That's what happened. It got crazy.
It's supposed to end at what the
same after Namek. It was supposed to be over.
Yeah, Namek was supposed to be the end. Yeah,
that was the end of the cycle. Really, everything else was extraneous. And I'm not gonna say the Android Saga was unnecessary, because I think the Android Saga honestly could have been a good bow. It could have been a good bow. It could have put, let's finish this right here.
If everything didn't happen after Cell, the Android series would have been perfect, because it had the whole, finiteness of Goku's gonna die and that's it.
And the torch is handed. We're over. We're done.
Yeah, if it's Gohan now, it could have wrapped it up real nicely, but then they added on the Majin Buu stuff and
I feel like they put it on a pedestal, and that's the problem with. I think they also the issue now, and this is where the point.
It became a cash cow. Honestly,
it became a cash cow, and that's where Naruto is right now. If y'all haven't, y'all peeped it, but Naruto is the new Dragon Ball Z. They put it on a pedestal, and listen, they made Boruto. They already made the GT.
Have y'all seen the game they just put out?
Nah, I didn't even.
It's literally Storm 4 DLC. It's literally Storm 4.
Same assets.
It's the same game, same graphics, same style.
But why at this point? At this point, I'm not surprised, because the way that I've seen we've seen this cycle. We've seen it. You know what I'm saying? Think about, and not to shit on the Budokai series, because I actually did fuck with the Budokai series, but like.
It got tired though after a while.
It got tired. Yeah. It got tired. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like it was something that they could continue to live off, but they continued to make them. You know what I'm saying? They're going to continue to milk Naruto until, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be 40 by the time they come up with like a way to put the nail in the coffin for Naruto. But
right.
You're going to see Naruto's grandkid. That's going to be the next one.
That's what we're going to. There's not very many series that are like carrying it over. That's why I feel like
he had a real good. This thing that pisses me off about Naruto is, yes, the ending was off, all right, but you could have redeemed that. You could have redeemed that in Boruto, and you could have made it a story not about Naruto's son, because why, right? There's no connection, there's no attachment, there's no reason for us to care from day one. There is nothing except you're riding off your pop's clout, right? So that's trash. So he could have made the story be more about what's her name? Sasuke's daughter.
That could have been interesting. Yeah,
and it could have been interesting, right? And then her being the next, the princess of the Uchiha and the next generation of Uchiha. That could have been an interesting story.
I don't want to care. I don't want to see about Naruto no more. It's not that I don't care. But I feel like and honestly, either what you said, or they could have made the little movie and washed their hands of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Gave niggas a little nostalgia. Been like, this is Naruto's son real quick. This is really about Naruto and Sasuke, because they still got their fight scene ultimately. You know what I'm saying? And we wrap it up. We wrap our hands of it. That was cool. Little cash grab. Cash out.
But you forgot his mortgage is still going.
He forgot his mortgage. And then when you look at it, take a look at all these series you see right now. It's shit is bro. My Hero is Naruto in its most desperate fucking it's Listen,
it had a strong start, and it caught my attention for the first couple of seasons.
They had it. They had a little
Sounds
spark.
Just like Naruto.
They had a little spark. Yourself. A little spark.
First half, they had us in the first half.
Had us in the first half because they definitely were able to convey that serious tone. They were still able to show off cool characters and introduce us to new shit here and there. And then at some point, it just got kind of stale. Like,
out of curiosity, where did My Hero lose you exactly?
So you know what's funny? Because I would say I was genuinely kind of invested. I was even fucking when they started invading the base of the scientists. When Miracle and Endeavor they pulled up, they pulled up and they was wilding. I was like, oh shit, it's hot. Da, da, da. I feel like it was when what's his name, Hawks, the nigga who had the feathers and shit like that. He was like really a double, triple agent, and he was like really working for the good guys while he was a double. It was that whole shit. And I was just like. You couldn't he really sold it. You couldn't really just have him be a villain. I would have been more satisfied with him really being a villain to me, just because of the way they built up like the tension of like, oh no, there's really a traitor. I like traitor storylines when they play up the traitor to be really like a scumbag. That's why I didn't fuck with the Kanjuro storyline in One Piece as much, because it wasn't built up as much. It kind of just was like
even Egghead.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't too into it. You know what I mean? Good. But some shit like that, if he had really been a traitor after being the number two hero really being a traitor, oh wow, y'all got me. That's you know what I'm saying? That's kind of hard. That's really cold. The number two hero is a traitor, like a real traitor. That's cold. But they decided to half-ass it, pull him out. We gotta save him. I was like, y'all kind of lost me. I don't like the half-ass kind of back and forth loop.
Yeah, I don't like that he made it out alive either.
I didn't like that.
Up with him like dying at the end of it.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's not real to me. Like you get involved with spy infiltration shit and you make it out good. I don't know.
And you take out one. Come on. Like, you killed the saddest nigga there, bro. Like
that's what I'm saying. Come on.
Twice? Damn.
It's
come on, bro.
It's just not really. I don't know. To me, it wasn't. I would say that's why I kind of the Wayne interest, because I honestly fucked with the whole villain arc where they were fighting and the villains were getting stronger and it was the Liberation Army versus the villain. Like I fucked with all that. Was kind of cool. Yeah. That was a cool perspective. I was like, you know what? most series don't really flesh out the villains this much. I fucked with that.
But it's also my bad.
No, they just lost me. They just after that shit. To me, that was a corny decision. In my opinion,
I don't like how much they drag out the whole who to root for. No one's really the bad guy here. Society, versus.
There's a bad guy. There's a bad guy. There's definitely a
fucking bad guy. But stop trying to make me feel bad for this dude. Like it goes for the Demon Slayer approach, but doesn't kill anybody. At least in Demon Slayer, they kill the demons.
That's always what I say. At least in Demon Slayer, he did put these niggas down.
Dead, straight up. Like he could go over his backstory. Fine, whatever. You could cry about him if you want to, but he's dead. He's not doing nothing after this.
It's still trash that you gotta humanize the demon. Just let him be a demon.
I agree.
Let him be evil.
I agree. Right? Let him be a demon. But if at this point that little flashback, as long as he's dead, I'm chill with it.
Yeah,
it's not like we're having that flashback and a change of heart. Like, oh no, we can't. Oh, look how sad his story is. We can't do it. Like, no, nigga, we're killing him first, and then we'll think about you a little bit after the fact. Right,
and that was the problem with fucking Naruto too. Honestly, like there were scenes like honestly, I don't give a fuck how cool y'all was with some Obito. Obito should have been a pack. What the fuck are we talking about? I know he ended up helping at the end. Obito should have been a pack, my nigga. I'm sorry. What are you talking about? Like, what are we talking about? He killed mad y'all niggas. Nigga, after he killed Neji, they said, ha! He said, ha, your nigga's dead. Look at him. Is this what you wanted, Naruto? That's what he said. What? Oh, that's a pack. Crazy immediately. What the fuck? Crazy. Nigga said, ha! That's crazy. That's crazy. Kill my nigga.
Who made the diss track or Brett?
That's what the Neji was still talking. He's talking in the background like, look at your nigga. Look at him. Why did he
over here getting it recorded? He's using that as ad-libs on his track.
That's yo. I swear to God, bro. Neji's still he's talking shit. That shit is crazy.
Yeah, they still hugged it out. Yeah, that's my one issue with Naruto. I'll never forgive them for talking it out for everyone.
Not everyone needs to talk out. Not everyone needs to talk out. Some niggas need their ass beat, bro. Some people need to like get smacked up. Unfortunately, like That's just what it comes down to.
They should have packed Nagato when they found him.
Honestly, I'm not even talking to Nagato.
He's catching 3 bomb kunai.
Yo, as far as I know, that nigga killed Jiraiya. Nigga killed Kakashi. Nigga wiped out the fucking village. As far as I know, I'm not even talking to this nigga.
Begins today, bro. You're not bringing anybody back.
I am not talking to this nigga Nagato. Nagato can eat a dick. Frankly, if we're being real with you.
Him fucking strapped up to that printing press he had in his fucking cave.
I'm smacking this shit out of him. First off rip, I'm smacking this shit out of him.
7 kunai immediately across the chest.
Wait about it the wrong way. I was like, yo, you can bring people back. Yo, start bringing out the Hokage bodies. We need the homies back.
Real talk. Release some niggas.
Just bring Hashirama back so we can clear this out, please. Like, there's a war coming.
People that was wild back in the day. Let's
end this shit, bro. How about that toddler can stay dead as far as I'm concerned, bro. Let's bring back some hitters, bro. Let's bring back some hitters. We don't need a baker, bro. We need some hitters. Bro. What the fuck?
We need hands on this side. They already got like 17 different Kages on their side. Like,
how many landlords we need to bring back, bro? Let's bring back some hitters. What are you talking about?
Nah. I don't care if he has a PhD, bro. Get
that nigga out of here, bro. Keep that nigga so. What the fuck?
How many people you kill? I'm a banker, sir. Please.
Yo, what the fuck?
How many people you kill? No.
What the fuck? I need Prime Jordan. What are we doing? What are we talking about?
No. Put him back in the ground.
I'm a florist. Are you
trying to take me back in the ground? Put that 5th grader back in the ground. What the fuck are we talking about? What are we talking about?
I need a life yet. Like, what do you mean? We're about to get hit with.
I need a stepper, bro. What the fuck?
Get hit with 6 different tail beast bombs. Y'all over here talking about. Jimmy wants to go back to school. Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah, I'm trying to bring back a third. Y'all trying to bring back a 3rd grade teacher. What the fuck?
Get the shovel for real, bro. It's not going down like that.
This lady ain't known for nothing but hating on Naruto this whole time. Why bring her back?
Did she talk to Naruto on the swing? Put her back in the ground.
Stay right there. Grocery store clerk, stay right there.
Bring the 3rd Hokage back so I can say fuck you and then put him back in the ground.
Right, smack that nigga. Bring that nigga back so I can smack that nigga and then return him.
And then rebury him immediately.
And rebury him. Spawn him then unspawn. The fuck that.
Spawn the man.
Oh,
square.
No. Slap his old face bad hard too.
Me and the 3rd Hokage got mad years of pain.
If I'm Naruto, I'm throwing hands with him immediately. As soon as he pulled up at the war,
it's on.
Wait. I want him. I need him.
The ones immediately couldn't even get this nigga fucking milk. Nigga came into his crib, said, "Yeah, that milk spoiled."
And if I'm Naruto, as soon as I see didn't you tell this nigga to look out for me? You know what he was doing?
Nothing.
Spoiled milk, watching from his crystal ball and shit.
Dad, this your man.
This nigga.
Hater.
This your man.
Hater.
That's who you left me with?
That shit crazy.
1,000 Shadow Clone Rasengan real quick.
That shit crazy.
Disgusting.
Yeah, but not all these series, man. They don't even know what they're doing, man. Even fucking Black Clover, Black Clover, probably the worst example too, because they tried to be Naruto, they really did, and it make me sick. All that shit make me sick.
Black Clover is by far one of the worst series to ever grace the Shonen Jump pages ever.
It's up there. They went to Giga. They went to Giga. I think they only I think they're monthly, or I think they're only
It needs to be now. Never.
Monthly is crazy. Monthly is wild.
I think Black Clover is monthly now. I don't think they could handle the weekly.
They need
cycle.
to do the same thing that Hunter x Hunter did, and just have the author just tell people what the ending is. Give them the ending. Just hang it up.
My boy, he needs to go on an extended hiatus, and he needs to cook up something different. My boy, he needs to come back to the drawing board with a fresh mind, honestly, because I'm sick of this shit.
Go on a spirit trip.
I dropped Black Clover when that chick got that cat that reverses fate or something like that.
Oh, that's when you stopped? I'm trying to think. I
went further than you.
I went much further than you. I went further than me. I went the house.
I saw one of the movies.
No, I ain't seen no movies. I saw when the nigga with the house woke up. House nigga woke up.
You know what? I did get that far. I'm lying.
You saw the house
Henry,
nigga, right? Yeah, Henry. Some Henry. I said no more. I turned that shit. I said, you tell me there's a secret nigga in the house this whole time? Get this shit the fuck out of here.
Bro, 4 seasons? Like how many? What season was that this nigga got introduced?
I'm not one time. You never opened up your door now. One time?
No, you just in a secret room. Just antisocial as fuck.
I'm done. I said, and they started charging to the battlefield in a house. I said, I'm over it, brother. I'm done. I'm done with this bullshit. What the fuck?
I still went further than you too.
You went deep.
How far?
Yeah, unfortunately, I went till they showed his mom, and then I was just like, "All right, I'm cool."
His mom,
wow, his mother.
Yeah. And we've seen Asta's mom and how the reason he has no power is because a demon fell in love with his mom and jumped in his. Yeah,
what? A demon jumped.
Yeah.
That's crazy
too. Beg your pardon? A demon fucked your mom, bro. That's
wild, brother.
I don't know what's worse. That Kenjaku.
Kenjaku is worse. Kenjaku is worse. Kenjaku decided on purpose.
Worse than a demon is crazy.
Yo, this nigga Kenjaku decided. He decided to on purpose take back shots from Yuji's father. On purpose. Like he decided that. That's a sick man. That's a sick nigga. That's a sick nigga. That's a sick nigga. He's sick. That's a sick brother.
Worse than a demon is actually. It's actually not like
that's a sick
your show isn't even worse than like an antagonist in a regular fucking
He's bad. That's terrible. That's
gonna go down
matter of fact, we don't even gotta go that deep. What he did to the lady fucking 200 years ago when he made her have 9 fucking abortions.
Oh my!
He fucking made her have 9. He nutted in this hole 9 times.
All right.
And then made her have 9 fucked up ass abortions just to see what the fuck would happen. That's a sick nigga, bro. He's sick. That's sick.
See,
that's a sick nigga. That's a sick nigga. That's what I'm here to say.
See, Professor J, you're missing your opportunity. This is the time you say Griffith did nothing wrong.
I don't want to get him wrapped up.
This is the only time in comparison Griffith looks like.
That's a sick nigga.
But listen, man.
Nah, it's too late now.
That's a sick nigga. Nigga. Yo.
Griffith, I don't know, man. Griffith, in comparison, he might have moved up the rankings.
Yeah, like I'm trying to tell you, Kenjaku is really a nasty fuck. Like I promise you, every time I think about what he did and what he continues to do, it's nasty, bro.
That's just 2 of the stories that we know about.
That's just 2 of the stories. That's just 2. He just get down like that. That's just his like MO.
Because 9 abortions, like how do you get to that number in particular?
There's no
9
past that. It's no
9
need to think about it past that.
9 is fucking crazy.
And did he stop there, or is he still pushing the limits?
Yeah,
like he's still pushing. I mean, he did the shit with Yuji. He fucking took over his mom's fucking body and fucking kept up the cycle just to have a baby. He could make exactly the way he wanted to do sick shit. Like that nigga is nasty. That's
just for Sukuna.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess this is the perfect time to transition. Since we're talking about this nasty nigga, and he may or may not have been packed up in this latest chapter.
I think it was a good chapter. How did y'all feel about the chapter in general?
I enjoyed the chapter overall.
Yeah.
I was in and out on the comedy. Not gonna lie, it was just a lot to read. I
ain't gonna say in and out. I am out on a comedy.
He was out.
I know he likes to put.
I was looking at it. I was just like, after a while, I just was scrolling.
The last few chapters before this, it was a lot. I feel like I feel like I understood the comedy a little bit more in this chapter.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't funny to me though.
It was tame. It was tame. Like it wasn't. I feel like before it was a little distracting. It was distracting to read, in my opinion, before because I was trying to like piece together what was even happening. And this time, I kind of understood what he was trying to get at.
A little odd.
It was a little odd because it was shit that don't make sense. Like it don't translate exactly. You know what I'm saying?
That's there was a context thing that's in there, and
yeah,
it's fine.
It's fine. It's
he's
fine.
A Japanese man writing for his primary audience. Whatever. Cool.
Ultimately, what we kind of figured out, Takaba's technique is crazier than I thought. Actually,
wow.
He could. You can't have. You don't have any awareness of what. I mean, so it's a domain. It's essentially a domain. If you don't have any awareness of what's happening outside of it, like you're inside of this barrier. It seems like, where you have to engage with what he's going on. It's kind of like a rules-based domain where you have to engage with what he's doing until you fulfill the condition of, I guess, satisfying him. Because it didn't end until he was satisfied, until everyone was cheering and, you know what I'm saying? Like, he got what he wanted, which was to get praised as a comedian. And he was like, I don't want this shit to end. And Kenjaku was like, you know, don't be greedy, nigga. Like, we did this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? We fulfilled your goal. And then it ended type shit.
Well, it sounds better in Official when he was just like, don't cry. It'll dampen the mood. Like, instead of saying, like, don't be greedy, don't cry. It'll dampen the mood.
Yeah, true.
And then they wake up outside it. And he's just like, all right, that's it. He laughs. He turns around, gets beheaded.
Yeah. So I think he ultimately satisfied the conditions of the domain, whatever the conditions ultimately. I think it was to satisfy
to make everyone laugh.
Yeah, to make everyone laugh. He succeeded in that. Thus it ended and he escaped the domain. But the caveat was he didn't have any awareness of what was happening outside of the domain in the meantime. However long he was inside of it, we don't really know exactly how long. But I would assume it was for at least a couple of minutes. Enough for Yuta to pull up and sneak this nigga. And Yuta was just with the group. That's why I think it had to have been
a good amount of time.
A good amount of time. Yuta wasn't anywhere near where Kenjaku.
An hour. I mean,
half an hour to an hour.
Yuta just started like tracking him once he ran off. Once Kenjaku ran off. I think he ran off before they Gojo and
I think he had to have known that Takaba had activated his technique before he took off because Kenjaku was watching him the whole time. So it had to have been as soon as Takaba started the technique that he started heading towards him. Because I don't think he would have started heading towards Kenjaku until.
Well, it was planned, right? And so
exactly,
like, he says it like he's like, yeah, well, you know, we waited. I knew he couldn't kill you. So like they had a conversation. They premeditated
coordinate the attack exactly.
Yeah, so it was probably like, yo, once he's in.
I'm coming to you.
Yeah, I'm coming. Like, all you got to do is get there and get him in because he's looking for me. So I can't do anything until you distract him.
Essentially. I mean, to me, that's the only way that this would have been able to play out because we saw at this point outside of Gojo, the special grade sorcerers, I don't think they're going to be able to do once he's on guard, like once Kenjaku is on guard. I don't think there's very much that the special grade sorcerers would be able to do to like fight him because Yuki, I mean, once Yuki touched him and he realized, oh, she could break my body with a punch. I'm not going to engage in combat with her. She didn't touch him again for the rest of the fight. Like she didn't touch him at all for the rest of the fight. Even when Choso double teamed, he didn't get touched for the rest of that fucking fight. So I think honestly, catching him completely lacking is the best way to have dealt with him. Honestly, in a fight,
even though he's not dead,
just to get his head off his shoulders at least.
But like, what's the game plan now that his head's off his shoulders?
I'm thinking barrier. I think that's the only way I could think that he at this point continues a barrier leading into a domain. I think he tries to take Yuta's body, either Yuta or Takaba's body. I think those are the only two viable options at this point because Geto's body's cooked. And
maybe he goes for Yuta, ends up with Takaba somehow.
I think if he goes for Yuta, he's gonna get Yuta's body unless Yuta has a domain expansion. Because I think at this point, the only feasible option for him to fight Yuta would be a domain expansion. If he doesn't have access to his body, but he still has his mouth, I think he could possibly open either an incantation of some sort, using just his mouth, or maybe he could do a domain with just his mouth. Which I'm convinced
he's speaking just fine.
That's what I'm saying. He's speaking just fine. And then I think it was like maybe a few chapters ago, they went to a lot of detail of explaining why Sukuna having two mouths was so special. Because being able to just speak in general and use incantations with having your other mouth free is very valuable. So at this point, I think you can use techniques with just your mouth and not have a body if you're alive. That is.
I thought the hand sounds were like important though.
I definitely do think they are, but at this point, I think an incantation is still possible with just your mouth.
Well, I think that's the thing that makes Sukuna dangerous in general. He has extra mouths, extra hands, so he's just he has that advantage in both. Yeah, he just has that advantage in both.
He could speed up incantations. He could do one while fighting. He could do multiple incantations. Yeah, so there's a lot of options open for him.
So I think that's probably, if battle-wise, that's what I assume he would do. Or maybe he might just try to go straight ahead and take Takabe's body because he does have a good understanding of how his technique works. So,
and his technique would be really good at, like,
I think it would be wraps. I mean, I think they could still deal with him. Ultimately, I think he would escape for now, probably because he wouldn't want to fight Yuta in a fresh body off rip right there in that situation. Yeah. But I think he would arguably just as much of a threat without Geto's body if he had Takabe's technique. Because he would still have the gravity technique. And access to Takabe's technique is wild. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
But how would he use that?
No. It will be whatever he finds funny.
Whatever he finds funny. And ultimately, I think the difference is that Takabe just couldn't kill people. That's not in his nature. Like Yuta kind of said it. Takabe doesn't kill people. It wasn't that Takabe couldn't kill people. It's Takabe doesn't kill people. Yeah. I definitely, if that was Kenjaku, I have a lot of scary thoughts about potentially what he could do.
Right. And Kenjaku has way more confidence. Infinitely more. So it would be so much more difficult to like cancel out his technique by like trying to bring him down.
He's an issue.
He does not give a fuck.
He is an issue. And this is hypothetical because we don't know this, but when he does the body transfer, when he does the swap, he does seem to carry over the technique of at least the previous person, because him having access to the gravity technique, that was Yuji's mom's technique. But he's not in Yuji's mom's body anymore, but he still has access to that technique, which begs the question, would he have access to curse manipulation if he was in a new body? I would think potentially yes, unless there's a limit to how many techniques he could carry over to a new body. If he can only carry one, then, we might not have that be a possibility. He might just keep the gravity because it's convenient. But if he can carry over techniques, unlimited amounts to bodies, he's an issue. I mean, I don't really know how else to spell it. I think he could just continue to be an issue. Like, if he gets a new body, he could just continue to try.
I don't think he can continuously grab all of these like abilities.
That's what I hope. That's what I hope.
If he could, he'd be a much.
I think he would be the one fighting Gojo. I don't think he would really need Sukuna.
Yeah, he wouldn't be.
Well, no, but the problem with fighting Gojo is that ultimately, no matter who you are in the verse, if you can't bypass infinity, there's nothing you could do. He could hurt you in a multitude of ways, but if you can't bypass infinity, you could have 1,000 abilities. You can't do shit against him. That's why everyone went into hiding. All those cursed, like the nigga who Yuji and Megumi jumped on the highway, he's honestly reasonably strong. His curse technique, like he can't be hurt by strong attacks at all in general. So you have to find a way to try and bypass his weird ass technique. He went into complete hiding just because this nigga was born. You can't do shit about him. He's a terrible matchup for like 99.999% of the verse. Like that's why Kenjaku straight up said, I'm not even gonna confront this nigga because there's no point if you can't do anything about infinity. So it really doesn't matter what anyone would do against him because he's just that much of a problem. So they had to sneak him through all the whole shit they had to. But Kenjaku could honestly, if he stockpiled bodies, like
that's what I'm saying.
He can do a lot.
Because he would take Megumi and then, because he already figured out how to seal Gojo by himself, so he didn't need Sukuna for that. So what's stopping him from taking over Megumi's body, getting Mahoraga, and starting?
I think there's gonna be. I think they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to figure out a way to separate Sukuna from Megumi. Ultimately, I think that's part of that's one of the major issues, because I do think Megumi is gonna end up being a big factor in how they defeat Kenjaku ultimately. But I do think they have to separate Sukuna from, because I think Kenjaku is the final hurdle, because I think Megumi is gonna be a part of the final battle. I don't think he's dead. I hope he's not dead. That'd be crazy. But I think when he does ultimately come back into the story, he's going to be a major player, not just because he's going to have a better understanding of curse energy after being in Sukuna, but I think he might just have access to Mahoraga off rip, being that Sukuna forced Mahoraga out of him using his soul. So even though Mahoraga got killed using his body as a vessel, I'm not sure if he's actually denied access to him since the ritual wasn't done by him, if that makes sense, by his soul. It was Sukuna forcing his body's soul out, but he might have access to the technique since it was his body, if that makes sense.
I mean, does he even have any
muscle memory kind of?
The muscle, yeah, essentially. that's the best way I could see him being a part of the final battle because his technique is broken. I mean, even if he keeps the reverse technique Deer out as just like an area of affecting, which I don't know why he never did in the first place, but if he keeps the reverse curse Deer technique out and just uses it constantly, he can really just spam whatever other abilities he wants in the meantime. Open his domain as many times as he wants, and then continue to just dominate. Like he's a problem even in a regular fight. So,
but aren't most of those curses dead by now? Those cursed beasts?
I don't think so because most of them I think the only one that we know for sure is dead is definitely the white dog. Agito was a totality, so that didn't count. The white hair
one is dead.
Nue's actually never gotten destroyed because he has multiple. We saw it when he used his domain. I'm not sure if it's only when he's in his domain, but when he was in his domain a few times, he had multiple Nue's.
So I'm not sure not full, but that's probably how he keeps getting away with it, right? Because like how he split the white dog and the black dog, he probably splits Nua, and
that's the only way I can think
of split.
The frog also he can split because he has multiple frogs. So there's multiple frogs that he can split up. And then also when Sukuna used the demon dogs, we saw he had multiple. He had like he used multiple of them when he used them. So I think like there's definitely ways to have a few of them if you have the technique to the fullest of his ability. But even if he doesn't have access to Mahoraga, which I'm okay with, I still think in a fight with Kenjaku, he's a major factor if he uses his curse techniques to the fullest effect.
Yeah. I think just need to. I just don't foresee it right now. I think it's over soon, so I just don't foresee him being strong enough right here at the second when it logically happens, unless it's like a situation where there's so many things happening at one time where he just kind of gets caught slipping.
I think he has a boost, honestly, if Megumi comes back. Just having Sukuna have been in his body or using his body as a vessel for the amount of time that he did, and being at full strength essentially in Megumi's body. I mean, Yuji had 15 fingers in him at peak. 15 fingers inside of him of Sukuna at peak.
That sounds crazy.
But yeah, that sounds insane.
Sounds wild.
That is what he did. That is what happened. I don't know. We what do you want me to do? What are we doing? But this nigga at this point, I mean, I feel like he had, I would say, arguably the most. I think Sukuna pulled the most out of his bag when he was using Megumi's body. I mean, like, he was wilding the fuck out in Megumi's body. Like, he kind of had to. Like, he was wilding the fuck out. Yeah.
It wasn't saying it ain't mine. I don't give a fuck. It's so off.
Nigga was going nuts in Megumi's body. This nigga made that nigga's brain explode and shit. What the fuck? Was wilding the fuck out of Megumi's body.
Every time he got hurt, he's like, I don't give a fuck.
Well, that's not,
not my spoon.
That's not me, right? Fuck it.
It ain't come down my pockets.
Niggas' eyes are bleeding. Fucking brain is spaghetti leaking out his ears. Fucking
full jab combos from Gojo. Straight to
he was
not even trying to block. He was just taking them on purpose.
Every time I go back and read those chapters, he was getting pieced the fuck up.
Jabbed out.
He was getting pieced up.
Megumi was getting pieced up, not him.
Right, exactly.
Megumi was eating the craziest licks. It was crazy.
Sukuna's just eating them shits like, man, I can't wait till I get my 4 hands back, bro.
It's man, they just fucking wait.
It's gonna be a brand new game when I get my 2 arms back, bro.
Oh God, nah.
Yeah.
It's crazy, honestly, because I've been rereading it. I've been going back over every time a new chapter drops. I kind of go back maybe like 10 chapters to kind of get a scope of like everything again. Just get a full scope of everything again. The way this nigga Kashimo got folded
really fast.
That was
unheard
insane.
of. Unheard of.
The build up to him getting folded is nuts.
Oh
they need to
God.
Write stories about that. That build up alone, just his whole backstory showing.
Honestly, once he got into a fight with Hikari and couldn't kill him.
That's what I'm saying. Once he was boxing Hikari and couldn't put him down, I said, He's not the one for this. Right, he's not the one for this. He's not.
He should have known right there. Like,
one for this.
Like even with whatever curse technique he was trying to hold him.
It didn't look like shit, honestly. The moment that Sukuna was honestly looking at him and said, "Watch out," I said, "This man don't know what he's doing out here. He don't even know where he is. Like,
what's going on? I have to tell you what's happening right now.
I gotta tell you what's happening, nigga. I know your plays." That's crazy, man.
That's on the other sideline. Sukuna just turned around like, you missed your screen. You were supposed to be on that side of the court.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's why you
honestly died. He held that nigga up at one point. He caught both of his arms and then used his other arms like a fucking Machamp and then punched his fucking liver. I was like, that's crazy, man. I was like, that's really sick. Like, what do you do about that? There's nobody who's doing anything about that.
Right.
That's what you were supposed to do.
Because you're getting jumped by one man right now, and you really got to figure out your life at this point.
Nigga is punching you from all directions.
And what was that weapon that Sukuna pulled out?
Oh, fucking, not the Hitan, the fucking the lightning fucking.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Once I saw that shit, I'm like, he has my. The man has all my plates. What do you
don't know what to do about that.
Come on, like
don't know what to do about that.
Clearly cheating. Right.
What's going on? Like,
nigga just making shit up. Why do you get to have that?
Nigga stole my plays. He picked up my playbook and ran off with it, bro. Like,
yeah, not a fan. I mean, I know
he's been doing that to niggas since Jogo. So I mean,
honestly, that's the thing. I feel like I heard niggas say this. This is one of the theories I've heard. That Sukuna doesn't have any special curse. Like, he doesn't have any special technique. He is just the original disaster curse. Like, he is just the disaster curse. Like, that's all the other disaster curses. Like, everyone else is just like a spawn of him in a sense where they.
I think that's why they all go after his fingers when they're left out.
Instinctively, like they instinctively go after it because of that. But there's a shot, and I've only actually seen it in the anime now that they've animated. I think it was Thunderclap, whatever episode it was, where Jogo pulled the fingers out, fed them to Sukuna, or fed them to Itadori, and Sukuna emerged and then clapped the girls and all that shit, and then clapped Jogo. There's a shot where he unfurls the fingers, and on the bottom of each finger, like on the stub, by where the knuckle would be, for each finger there's like a different. Let me see if I can pull it up. There's like a different, almost like element coming out of the fingers. Like one of the fingers had like a plant coming out of it. Another one had like a crystal or some shit coming out of it. Let me just see if I can pull it up.
If he's just mastered
all of the elements.
Like that's what I think ultimately it might be, because the way that he pulled out the fire, it seems like it's like a different fire. Like it's like the master fire or some shit like that, or like almost mythical in the way that it's like
it was almost like liquidy. Almost
yeah, like I don't know. Let me see if I can pull this up. Yeah, like some of his fingers have like plants and shit coming off of them, and at first I thought it was just design, because he's gross. And I still think that might be part of it, but let me see the exact.
So if he's the original disaster and everyone else is just his spawns trying to go back to him,
his spawn they're like in a way that they're trying to go back to him, or like they're trying to just live up to what it was that he was. Because when you look at the potential of the disaster curses, this is always what this is kind of what I started to think about, right? Each finger of Sukuna, right, is a special grade object. Right? It's a special grade cursed object, right?
Right.
If any curse eats one, it instantly becomes a special grade. Instantly. That's a special grade. It could be a grade 4 curse. If it eats one, it becomes a special grade item or special grade curse immediately. That's how powerful one of his fingers is, right? So you could wager that one finger is equal to a special grade curse, at least one special grade curse. That's why when Kenjaku said to Jogo, when Jogo asked, how strong am I in terms of Sukuna's fingers? Nigga said like 8 or 9. I'd give you 8 or 9, right? At this point, when you look at how strong, because we saw he's not strong compared to Sukuna and Gojo, but in the grand scheme of things, he definitely was the strongest disaster curse.
Outside of Mahito, yeah.
I think he's stronger than Mahito.
Yeah.
I'm being real with you. I think he's putting Mahito for sure. I think he's putting Mahito down. I don't think he had the AP. I don't think he has the AP to deal. I don't think Mahito's dealing with the AP of Jogo. If it comes down to straight up attack power, I don't think Mahito is taking that. A straight meteor to the face like that, I don't think so. If it came down to a domain tug of war, give or take, you can throw your hands up. I don't know. But in terms of who I would consider to be the strongest, nigga, Jogo pulled up and blitzed instantly blitzed Nanami, right? Also, instantly caught the second fastest sorcerer in what's his name, Naobito. Instantly. And the nigga was on guard because he escaped a little bit. He kind of danced on him danced for a little bit, and they got caught ultimately. Instantly. No question about it. Caught that nigga. Jogo is strong, but 8 to 9 fingers is a good estimate. To say that 8 to 9 fingers, what I said is about 8 to 9 special grade curses combined in one at this point, I think it's a fair estimate. I think it's a fair estimate to say 8 to 9 fingers is probably 8 to 9 curse spirits. That's like an amalgamation, a combination of them. I would say that's probably as strong as Jogo was. Sukuna is on a completely different level, grand scale of things. I don't think all disaster curses at once could do anything against him. If now that we've seen it all, we've seen how it all plays out. Mahito, Jogo, Dagon, who's the other one? Fucking Hanami. They couldn't jump Sukuna at once. They couldn't do anything. If they couldn't jump fucking Godra at once, they damn sure not doing anything against Sukuna at all. Like point blank, period.
No.
Yeah, but I do think he might be the original disaster curse.
So, all right, he's the original disaster curse.
Yes,
and it's just the disaster of Sukuna.
He's just a natural disaster. He's like a straight up.
But he was a person before he was a curse, right?
He was a person. That's the thing.
I think he might be like one of those cases like where they like mastered curse energy to the point where they could like replicate different abilities and things as they see them. So like think like Jing from Hunter x Hunter. You know what I mean? Where he just has such an understanding of Nen, able to replicate other people's attacks using just solely Nen itself. Whereas Sukuna might be like one of those interpretations where he's able to just use curse energy so like freely that he's able to either create the other elements and expand on his abilities more than what they originally were. I kind of hope not, but
I don't disagree with you though. I think he literally is a natural disaster. Like I think he has like a fundamental understanding of cursed energy that he can just do anything with it. Because if it's not, because he kind of said it straight to Jogo. I'm not going to reveal my technique. That would be petty. Like that would be petty if I did that because it'd be overkill. But I think he could just kind of do whatever type shit. Like he just pulls out whatever. Like if it works, it works.
Because he seems to love to like that's your ability. Watch me do it better than you. Type shit. Like, he seems to love that shit. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's some type of ability like that.
Do you think it was coincidence that he started on Kashima that way with the fucking the lightning tool he pulled out? I think it just happened to be what he was gonna do anyway.
I think when Kashima pulled out his technique, I think it just reminded him. He's like, "Hey, I got something that does sound like that, like type shit." You know what I mean? Every time he sees the technique, he's just like, "I do got something in the backpack like that. Let me get that out one time."
The scary thing is that like, because the truth is like he didn't pull out his true form against Godra because it wouldn't have made sense. Like he could have done it, but it wouldn't have made sense because then he wouldn't have been able to beat him. Like he wouldn't have been able to bypass infinity, so it wouldn't have made sense for him to do that. Right? But now that he has access to his full bag,
it's without
the full bag is crazy. The full bag is crazy. Like the full bag is nuts.
So what do you? Or I guess the better question is where or who could scale up to Sukuna outside because it feels very limited, right, in his own verse right now. I feel like are we on the same page? It's not a one person that beats him in a 1v.
At this point in time, I don't see not right now.
He's getting jumped.
Yeah.
Unless there's a time skip, he's getting jumped, right?
Yeah.
So, fair point. So where does he scale outside of his verse?
So
outside of what?
Outside of his verse. Like where does he scale?
Where do you limit him? Does he have access to the 10 shadows still? Does he have access to Maharaga and the 10 shadows? Or are we talking just Sukuna in his prime, pure form, no 10 shadows, but he's got 4 arms, all the tools and techniques?
No 10 shadows, 4 arms, in his prime, maxed out, just all his tools.
Can I say like another verse? I think he would like his ceiling would be reached in.
Okay.
I think Bleach would be the verse where his ceiling would just kind of be hard capped at what he can do and who can he affect out the verse. I think Bleach would, because at a certain point in Bleach, there's literally nothing you can do, and if you don't like own a concept, you know what I mean? Like once you get to like the Squad Zero, like
he touches no one in Squad Zero.
I don't think, honestly, I don't even think he gets past early Bleach, to be completely real with you.
You don't think he gets past the captains again? Like
I think he might be up there with the captains.
I don't think he beats the captain.
I think it's the captain. I think he's about
he beats Komamura very easily. The wolf, the dude who's just a giant Bankai that's vulnerable to attacks, Sukuna would smoke that man.
The problem with Bleach is that the scaling, especially for Bleach.
Actually, I kind of agree with you there. Now that I think about it, yeah, he might smoke that man. He might put that man in the pack.
I don't know.
The spiritual pressure argument you're about to make, because then
no. Fuck spiritual. Fuck spiritual. I'm about to say pure like feats only. Like the speed in Bleach is a very fast verse. Like the speed feats in Bleach they're quite high.
That's what I mean. Like he'll reach his ceiling. Like he's not gonna get to the top of this verse. This is gonna be a verse. He'll participate in the verse, but he's not getting to like the top of the verse.
I think he maxes out.
If you say Renji, I'm leaving.
No.
Bro.
I think he maxes out. He maxes out at around.
I don't think he touches
when they okay. Rescue Rukia arc.
That's crazy.
No, listen. The captains in the Rescue Rukia arc, I'd say, is where he caps out. That's about how strong Sukuna is. The captains, yeah. So
in the Rescue Rukia arc before they got like
So like Byakuya.
He doesn't beat Byakuya.
That's what I'm saying. I'd say he's just about as strong. That's where he is. That's how strong he is.
He doesn't beat no. Because I don't think you understand what you're saying. He doesn't beat Byakuya.
No.
The other captain that they fought in that arc was Kenpachi.
Don't beat Kenpachi either. No, he doesn't beat Kenpachi.
He beats Kenpachi because Kenpachi's limited himself, and at that point,
I don't think he beats Kenpachi at all. Actually, I don't think
he limited himself crazy. He lost to Ichigo, and I don't think Ichigo beats Sukuna at that point in time.
I think he does, but I think just plot.
I think so too.
But I just don't think that Sukuna is. We're talking about early Bleach. This is early Bleach.
That's what I'm saying. Early Bleach. You think
this is where he goes to caps out. Yeah. A better verse to compare him to, honestly, is probably Yu Hakusho.
At what point in that arc, though, does he have Bankai or no?
Ichigo?
Yeah.
No, he didn't have Bankai.
I think Bankai is overkill.
Doesn't he get Bankai right at the end of that?
Listen,
he gets Bankai at the end of that arc.
That's what I'm saying. Bankai is overkill because
I think I'm really sleeping on Sukuna. Like,
no, I don't think I am. I don't think I am.
I'm with you in the beginning, right? I think pre-Bankai Ichigo has nothing for him.
No, but I think Bankai Ichigo is enough. I think it's definitely enough.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like Bankai is the
Bankai Ichigo
technically at the end of that arc.
And that's why I was saying that's a captain. That's a captain level. That's a captain level strength right there. That's like because he was fighting with Byakuya at the end of that arc. Like
that's what I'm saying. At the end of the arc.
I mean, like if I had to, I think he beats Tenzin. I don't think he beats Gin. If I'm really like going through it,
Tenzin is the blind one, right?
Yeah,
I don't think he
beats Komamura.
I think he actually gets smoked worse against Tenzin.
That's what I'm saying. Like I Bleach is
without
honestly
sound, I think Sukuna could figure that out.
He takes all of your senses.
No, but Sukuna is a cursed energy specialist. Not that his combat IQ is not, but he's a cursed energy specialist. That's why his feats are so crazy in the verse because he can instantly figure out how cursed energy.
They're pretty kind of translate to the Bleach verse.
I don't know. We're talking about energy.
You got your Shikai, you got your curse technique, you got your.
I like the only comparable in between verses like that are pure strength. I think strength.
I don't think it's 1-to-1, but I think it's pretty comparable.
I don't know when it comes to verse swaps. When it comes to verse swaps, I don't do techniques 1-to-1s unless it's like something that's like a technique based in pure like I guess like skill. Like somebody's pure like swordsmanship, pure skill. That's like okay, I can say this nigga's swordsmanship is definitely better than this nigga, or this nigga's hands are definitely better because they're comparable. If we're talking about power systems and shit like that, that's when I think Bleach's power system is even crazier.
Pressure isn't that just curse energy?
I don't know. Cursed energy seems like an innate thing that everyone could use. I don't think everyone has access to spiritual pressure.
Not everybody.
Everyone has access to spiritual pressure. Some of them just have low spiritual pressure, and some just can't notice it.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Everyone does have some to an extent. It's innate. It's the same thing.
So you would equal cursed energy and spiritual, because I don't think they equal out. Because cursed energy
I think the cursed spirits are just hollows, because isn't hollows just they congregate in a place where there's a lot of fear and animosity?
For sure. But the
curse, they appear the same way that a curse would. So I think it's an actual 1-to-1.
I think they're close. But
I think the majority of JJK is on the lower end of the spectrum. But I think Sukuna, Gojo are in that they can fight amongst the Gotei 13. Not win. Like Gojo,
I don't know, man. Gojo's
an anomaly. He's an anomaly.
Every captain that's not named Yamato.
Hacks. Even with Yamato might have a hard time.
I think Gojo beats him, honestly.
No,
I think he stops at that nigga at Squad Zero. Oh yeah, wait, can he?
He burns he burns literally borders between existence.
Oh yeah.
So he can.
That might be a hard stop.
Burn everything. Yeah,
but either way, even if he got past
Yamato's
that,
the hard
with
part.
That nigga who could cut anything, and that would be a hard stop there. I don't know what he would do about that. He just pulls out a sword that could cut the universe for real. Like I can do that. Infinity, sure. Let's pull his sword out. Something like.
You like having 10 fingers? Let's take off 3 of them. Simple. See?
What do you even notice? How do we get here?
Infinity means nothing up here. So I think the top people in JJK play in the Gotei 13. But I think everyone else is like a low-ranking squad member. Maybe not like a captain, but like aren't they like seats, like the 10th and the 9th seat of whatever squad? I think that's where most of them are living.
So what do y'all think is a better verse to put him in than Bleach?
I think Yu Yu Hakusho.
Because I heard you say Yu Yu Hakusho.
I think Yu Yu Hakusho is probably closer.
I think if he's in Yu Yu Hakusho, he has a bad time.
I don't know. I think
if he's in Yu Yu Hakusho, he's very confident until he meets from the Demon King's tribes.
That's pretty far up the list, though.
That's pretty far.
All right, he doesn't beat them. He doesn't beat any of like the 7, the guy with the split personalities.
I think he actually claps him. I think he claps him. I think he fondles him. One of
his personalities is to completely unexist certain things.
Right.
I think he fondles him.
You would have to unexist a lot of things for Sukuna to not be able to kill you.
Yeah.
What if he just unexist him from the realm?
Unexist Sukuna? I mean, he hasn't done that to anybody in the show.
So, okay, I'm going to be real. I think Sukuna beats Shinobu. I think Shinobu, the nigga with the 7 personalities, I think he fondles him. I think the Demon Kings in the underworld, I actually think he I think it's a good fight.
I think he touches a few of them.
But I think he takes them all.
He doesn't beat Ichigo. He doesn't beat Yusuke's dad.
I think he do.
Well,
with that dismantle that slices through everything, I think he's keeping up to him in a 1-to-1 fight.
That's literally what his dad did. He can claw through everything. It's him fighting him. It's the Spider-Man.
It's a Spider-Man.
It's them pointing at each other.
Who's older? Who has the most experience?
Sukuna,
not Sukuna. Yeah, it's what's his name's dad.
They're like 3,000 years.
Yeah,
I think he's like 3,000 years old. I'd say I'd say it's a 1-to-1. I give him a toss up. I'd give it a toss up.
They're the same person.
A toss up.
They're the same person.
Yusuke's dad edge.
Yomi, the one that smoked Yusuke, I don't think he beats Yomi. I don't think he beats Yomi. Yomi was blind, giving people the business.
You talking about the nigga that Yusuke lost to in the tournament, right at the end?
Yeah,
I think he folds him actually.
Really?
Yeah, I think he folds him.
I think you need to rewatch that tournament again.
There's nothing to do to block the dismantle that cuts through everything is quite literally it's a hard stop to everyone's durability. And then on top of that, if he opens up a domain, if he opens up Malevolent Shrine,
he regenerate. So what difference does that make?
Malevolent Shrine really will just sit there and shred you until you close it.
That's what I'm saying.
Gojo had to close it before he turned to dust. Like Gojo had to literally figure out how to close it before it was too late. Like it was crazy.
He's wilding the fuck out.
Malevolent Shrine is an issue. Okay,
and then
I'll give you Yomi, but I don't give you the other one, the one that Hiei was under.
Okay, here's my thing. I think he has the potential to beat all of them. Now, if it comes down to if he's winning every fight, I think it comes down to life or death stakes. Because we also have the tools that he has at his disposal. And if we're talking full prime Sukuna, we know he has the lightning thing, and then he also has the spear thing.
But we haven't seen quite through that thing.
What happened?
He cleared through the verse. If he is fighting with the Demon Kings, which are the strongest people in the Yu Yu Hakusho verse,
yeah, he clears it. He clears the verse.
He clears the verse. Then there's really not much.
So I'm saying Bleach is a little bit.
I think he does pretty well in Hunter x Hunter too, honestly, because I think he beats Meruem. People were debating it, like if he beats Meruem. I think he beats Meruem.
I think he claps Meruem.
I think he fondles Meruem actually.
Meruem he infinitely regenerates.
He's gonna have to.
When he regenerates, his cells come back stronger. So there's going to be a point where you're just building up his defense at a certain point.
Well, here's my
thing. Your brain literally turned into dust before you.
No, here's my thing. If Meruem's regeneration was perfect, he wouldn't have died. He wouldn't have died from the poison. He wouldn't have died from the poison if his regeneration was perfect. If it was 1-to-1, if it stood up to everything, he wouldn't have died from the poison. So his metabolism for his regeneration isn't endless. Now, and this is where I feel like the interesting debate is, right? When it comes down to reverse curse technique, right? It stems from your head, right? And you're only able to use it if you have an understanding of how it really works. But when he erased Gojo's arm from existence, when he used Maharaga's slash, right? Like when he cut it, erased his arm from existence, I think it was a little bit different than just like he still was able to regenerate from it. But I think if there was no reverse curse, if he would say there's no reverse curse technique, like that doesn't exist. I think it's a little bit different than a normal wound. Like it's not like you just got cut. It's almost like what was there doesn't exist anymore. Like it's like because it wasn't just that the area around his arm was gone. The area around the building also disappeared.
So then let me ask you this, right? Let me ask you this, because there's also this point to that. Meruem is a genius, right? He is an effective genius. It doesn't take him long to figure out anything.
Yes.
Right? If he fights him and figures out curse technique or curse energy and how to use it, how long before he's strong and with it?
Ooh. I don't think he wouldn't win the fight though. It would take him too long to approach Sukuna's level, I think.
Yeah, I think Sukuna's kill capability is just a lot higher at the beginning of the match.
It's so high.
You know, it's like, all right, you're too fast. I'm having too hard of a time. Domain extension.
Domain immediately. Domain immediately.
Dust. Yeah. For as long as it needs to be there. For as long as it needs to be there. And honestly, we haven't seen a single thing block it. We haven't seen a single thing it hasn't cut through. Like
we haven't seen anyone even really escape it. Really, it's you can't
cut through Gojo.
He escaped it. He did escape it, but outside of that,
but he still had to use reverse technique. It's not like it was blocked off in like infinity. It was still cutting him technically.
And the funny thing is that there's the reason why his the domain is so powerful in particular is because you can like escape it. There's like the possibility that you can. So because there's a vow that you can escape it in a sense.
But who knows that?
Nobody.
That's the issue. Like once you're close enough, it doesn't matter. Two,
and that
you don't even know that that's an effect. You don't even know that you can get out of. Like imagine getting chopped up for miles for 20 kilometers. Was it how?
It's 242 meters.
Ridiculous.
242 meters, which is let's see.
Okay, so he collapsed Meruem. I can give you Meruem.
800 feet.
I think, yeah, that's pretty.
It's 800 feet.
That verse, it's really crazy.
It's Hunter.
It's not the verse, so that's the interesting thing, right? He beats Meruem, right? And as you think about it, Meruem was like a major threat to Gon and them.
But he was only a B.
He's not even B. He was C, right?
No, he was C. No, Chimera Ants were C, but they could go up, right?
Yeah, but he was the king was a B.
He was a B. He was B because he evolved to the B point.
Yes.
In general, so they're just C. They're nothing, right?
To be fair, once you get to A and S, that's like the
that's world ending. I mean, they thought the Chimera Ant was world ending, but that is real world ending.
What's the island called?
The Dark Continent.
The Dark Continent. That's Dark Continent shit in A and A and S. That's like
the
end of the world.
That's mystical shit.
So B is still kind of pretty high. I'm sure there were some hunters that could have went in and out. You feel me?
I mean, it just honestly it makes me nostalgic of fucking Yu Yu Hakusho because it makes me think of Toguro because Toguro. I remember they were like, oh, Toguro was like a B class demon, but then when immediately as soon as they got back from Toguro, they run into Sensui, and that nigga's an S-class threat, and it's like real fucking. It is real serious. Toguro was serious, but Sensui is fucking. He's not playing for him. Like he is not playing for him.
All hands on deck.
All hands on deck
now.
Yeah.
So even if Meruem was a B, I don't think that puts Sukuna at any worse position because I think
Sukuna could go to the Dark Continent. I think he'd be.
I think Sukuna could really walk around the Dark Continent.
I don't think he's walking around. I think we haven't seen there because there's shit that you can't.
I don't think he.
Because I think he can go there though.
Because he can't deal. You think Sukuna can't beat like
the Guardian? You think maybe
the Guardian? No, is supposed to be like the strongest person in the verse.
No.
So I don't think he can beat the Guardian. I don't think he beats Aluka.
No, I think when it comes to like the ancient beings, like the unknown shit, like where
A is one of the things that came back from the Dark
Continent.
An
artifact though, like
it's not from the Dark Continent. That's some shit that's unfuckable. Like that's
what I'm saying. And there's a bunch of that shit. I don't think he's walking around the Dark Continent at all.
I think he could go there though. I think he'd be one of the people that would be chosen to go there, and he could exist there. But I don't think
Leorio is about to be at the Dark Continent, so
should not
be a lot of people that should be there.
No business.
Don't mean they should be there.
At all.
For sure. But he's stronger than
Kurapika's like on the line because he can't use his fucking eyes anymore without fighting a fucking spider. So
I mean, but Sukuna is clapping Frollo, right? Like y'all have that
easily.
He's clapping. He's
immediately.
Well, how much prep time does Frollo have? Let's
Frollo has 20 minutes.
The amount of time I give him 20 minutes alive to have enough
20
prep
minutes
time
is not enough time to get small.
Okay, so I'll give him
3,000
years. He's folding Sukuna.
3,000 years. I mean,
3,000 years. That's
the only condition. And he can't live that long, so it's a condition he'll never meet.
Nah, that's not true because Gon's great grandfather's still alive.
Sure, the nigga's just living there. He's on the Dark Continent.
They're still in the hundreds. They're not in the thousands. Like
no, he's in the thousands. He wrote that Dark Continent book 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, he's just been walking around. He's doing something.
Yeah, he's outside.
He has that rice. He has that immortality rice.
Netero was what, like
120, I think, or some shit like that.
I thought he was like in the 500s. I thought he was.
Netero was in the hundreds.
No, Netero was like 120, I think.
He was way more than 100 because he was a baby when whatchamacallit's grandfather met him.
Who Killer was?
Yeah.
That was Killer's great grandfather though, because Killer's grandfather is like 70. So he was like 100.
Great grandfather's like,
Netero was 120. I just pulled it up.
Oh yeah.
But I think Killer was great grandfather is like 200 though. Maha Zoldyck is like super fucking old.
Yeah, unbelievable.
He went to the Dark Continent, came back, and was like, "Don't go."
Trust me,
it's not worth it.
You do not need to be there. Okay, so I think he walks around for most of the Hunter x Hunter verse. He has the questionable time at the Dark Continent.
I think he goes, but how far he gets is
he stops at the gates of the Dark Continent.
Yeah, because we don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening over there for real.
Bleach is a good one. I think he's a vice captain in Bleach. Yeah.
I was gonna say, well,
I think that's his hard cap.
I think captain levels. I think it would be something because that's still a strong ability, even if
it becomes irrelevant at a certain point with the captain stuff.
I think his arsenal is what makes him a captain level. I think his bag is super fucking deep, and
because he's a lot like Byakuya. Like, you know how Byakuya also has all those Kido techniques on top of the swordsman skill, on top of the Bankai that's mad strong. I think Sukuna falls into that level where he has all these different spirit techniques. You know, he has the weapons, he has the domain expansion, the curse technique that's wild. Like he has the versatility, I think, to really be a problem. But I don't think once he gets to like the upper echelon, it's really a big deal.
And you know what? Okay, so you know what? I have to take back something because what I think the issue is, we also haven't seen Sukuna really. He hasn't really mixed. Okay, first of all, I want to say he mixed Kashima. We saw that, but the way that he mixed him so effortlessly.
Yeah.
And the breakdown I feel like we got to was also important because we know this nigga, now that he has 4 hands, nigga is fighting better than ever. He has 2 mouths, so he can't even faster and do shit with his hands full. He has the weapon. He honestly is doing shit that I feel like is gonna make everything else look kind of petty. And I know that he couldn't bring this out against Gojo because he wouldn't have won the fight that way. But I think we're gonna like, however we end up seeing him losing, you know, it's gonna be whatever it is. But I think we're gonna start to see with as it goes forward, we're gonna start to see shit that is gonna be weird. Like it's gonna be weird as fuck. He's gonna start doing shit that we didn't think was possible. He's gonna be doing fucking 2 curse techniques at once. He has 2 arms now on each torso. I mean, on his torso. He's gonna be doing 2 curse techniques at once. I feel like it's gonna be
wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he can start pulling out 4 curse techniques, like if he can just manipulate 1 through each hand using different hand signs on each one,
I don't see him losing.
I'm scared about the fucking fire mixed with whatever kind of shit he does with his upper body, because the fire arrow is undefeated. The fire arrow is undefeated. It's undefeated. That shit killed Maharaga. That's what he used to kill Maharaga the first time. Kill Jogo with the shit. Like, that's a crazy move. Maharaga in 1 hit is crazy. 2-0. Maharaga in 1 hit, that's at least equal to Hollow Purple. At least equal to Hollow Purple. Hollow Purple eviscerated Maharaga. Unlimited Hollow Purple eviscerated Maharaga. The fire arrow also one-shotted Maharaga. At least equivalent to Hollow Purple. At least.
I think they're both one-shots, but Hollow Purple is like 3 million damage versus the fire arrows like a million.
If Maharaga's the cap, if Maharaga's the cap, what I'm comparing it to, Maharaga survived also Malevolent Shrine. Also survived Malevolent Shrine. If we compare it to Gojo. Malevolent Shrine was not enough to put down Maharaga. Also, even before he adapted to Cleave and Dismantle, they weren't enough to really, like, they cut him, but they weren't enough to, like, separate limbs of Maharaga fully. Nigga was still okay just taking Cleave and regular Dismantles just full on.
Yeah, because he already adapted it.
No, even before he fully adapted it, nigga was taking Cleaves and Dismantles and was just, I'm okay though. Like, he was still kind of, nigga was still just.
Give me a second. I'm put it back together.
He was okay though. Nigga was really still moving crazy on it. So listen. Fire Arrow goes crazy. That's all I'm gonna say right now. My stocks for Fire Arrow are up there. That's all I'm gonna say. But
it's the difference between, like, you know, blowing up the top half of his body with Fire Arrow and like turning him to dust with Hollow Purple. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
When he hit fucking Maharaga, there was nothing left. Maharaga was done. There was nothing left of Maharaga at all when he hit that nigga with the Fire Arrow. And Jogo was just a smoldering pile on the fucking ground when he fucking hit that nigga with the Fire Arrow. Both niggas was left into dust.
Yeah.
Nothing was
really
there.
Got washed by that.
And that wasn't even on his finger.
He looked bad with that arrow. That was nuts.
That was
fucking Fuga had both those niggas in ashes. I don't know. I'm not saying. Listen. I actually know I'm standing on it. I don't care. Fire Arrow might be. Listen.
Top one.
Listen, I think it might be one of the most potent attacks. If it put down Maharaga, that might be one of the most potent attacks.
It's better than the hyper beam from what's his name? That Mahito took.
The
Mekamaru.
I think it's more.
That beam was crazy.
That beam was crazy, but Mahito's. I know his ability worked a little different, but hey,
he used a little soul.
A little soul.
Took a little soul.
A little bit.
Fine.
I don't know.
All right. But I think it's a good point to wrap it up.
So yes, sir.
This is a good spot. Let us know what your thoughts were.
Let us know where the next chapter is going. If you want to hit us up, definitely talk about us. We're gonna hit up this next One Piece chapter is coming out, right? There's no break this week.
No break for JJK either.
Yeah. So next time you see us, we're definitely gonna get talking on that. And this has been the Urban Anime Podcast. We'll catch y'all later.
Take it easy. Listen, write me if y'all want to fight, man. I'm trying to argue with y'all, man. Listen. Yeah, energy for y'all.
It's
pretty right here.
Energy for y'all. Yeah.
We're gonna put a poll up. We're gonna put a poll up. Top 3 JJK attacks. Just a quick poll. I want to see where we end up. So we got Fire Arrow, Hollow Purple. What's the third one I want to go in there?
Third one. That's a good one. Because we got to see an attack that's undefeated. Like it's killed 100% of the time.
What's the divine shit that Toji and Maki got? Throw that in there.
Heavenly divine.
Heavenly.
What, the heavenly restriction?
Restriction. There we go.
Yeah, but that's not really
a technique. Yeah,
it's just. I mean,
it's like
okay. Idle transfiguration.
Being built different.
Idle transfiguration is pretty good.
I don't just forget. It's got 100% kill ratio. It's
that's not missed.
It is not missed.
Okay.
Only on Yuji, but
Yuji's the only example. Outside him, everyone else is actually
bad matchup. Bad.
Yeah, it's kind of bad matchup. But all right, we'll throw those up there. Those are cool.
Yeah. All right. Later, y'all.